taking first steps, smiling for the first time, waving bye-bye, and babbling are called developmental milestones. Children reach these in how they play, learn, and communicate. In this, the final of our Know the Signs series, we take a look at some of the communication milestones your child should master during their early years.
First, I'd like to explain the difference between speech and language. Speech refers to the sounds that are made when we're talking, and language can be broken down into two different areas, which is receptive and expressive. Receptive is what your child would understand, and expressive is what your child says. In regards to speech, for a 6-month-old, we want to hear a lot of reduplicated syllables. In receptive language, you want to see that they have an interest in the sounds they hear in their environment, the voices that they're hearing, and they're looking towards the sounds with eye gaze or a head shift. And for expressively, although there's no true words at this point, we do want to see that they are acknowledging you. So if you're smiling, they're attempting to smile back, that they see you're there and they want to communicate with you. For a 1-year-old, they are exploring a lot of different sounds, and they're trying to imitate you as well, just simple syllables. But if they do attempt a true word, it just may be an approximation of a true word. This means that it's not perfect, but you know that they are trying to say that word because they're using it in the same context.
Okay. There's a lot of variation in language development, but there are some things that a parent should look for. If the child is not able to make eye contact, if the child is not babbling, at least by 9 months, if the child does not respond to any sounds, that means that could be an indicator that the child might have hearing problems. If the child is not saying words by at least 1.5, if the child is not combining 2-word utterances by 2.5, if the child's speech is not clear by 3, then you know that there is need for concern. And also if the child does not follow simple directions. A 2-year-old child should be using sounds like M, B, P, T, D, W, H, and N. They should use vowel sounds like A, E, O, and U. They should be able to understand 2-word sentences like get your shoes and put them on. They should be able to point to body parts, point to pictures in books. In terms of the expressive language, they should be able to use 2-word utterances like my ball, big truck. They should at least have 50 words, and they should be using plurals, the ing form like sleeping, eating, and running, and possessive like my ball, my mommy, etc.
So for a 3-year-old child, in terms of their speech sound development, you want to be hearing all the sounds that were already mentioned with the 2-year-olds, but in addition to that, you want to start to hear a k, a g, a s, and y sound. As well, at this point, they should be able to say pretty much all the vowel sounds and the ing sounds. Also, parents should be able to understand their child, their 3-year-old children, 75 to 100% of the time. And children should use sounds at the beginning and at the end of words. So they shouldn't be omitting sounds from words anymore. You want to remember that yes-no questions, questions that start with what, where, and who are going to be a lot easier, whereas questions that start with how, when, why are going to be more difficult for children this age, and you're going to see some errors. Also, you're going to start to see some grammar appear. So you're going to have words like the, and is. You know, before they might omit these words, but once they're 3, they should be really starting to get them. Children that are 3 should be able to describe activities, feelings, any problems that they're having, and tell simple stories. So those are what you want to look for a 3-year-old.
Now that your child is 4-year-old, they just talk. It seems like they're always talking. They're telling you about what happened at school. They remember what happened yesterday. They remember what's going to happen tomorrow, and they recall what you said. So their sentences are definitely getting more complete and a little bit longer. They're using a bit more grammar, so they're using plurals like 1 shoe, 2 shoes. They're also using a bit more possessives like mommy's doll or my shoes, your vest, things like that. They're also using a bit more question words, so they're starting to use the why question. They'll ask you, why are we doing this? Why do I have to go there? But there might still be a little bit of errors. At this stage, a parent should understand their child 100% of the time. So whatever they say, you should be able to understand them.
Every child develops differently, but knowing how to assess your child's development or where to get help if you have concerns can be a huge asset. Visit any of the websites on your screen for more information.